Hey y'all, this is the No Nonsense Podcast. Today is Sunday, June 21st, 2020, the winter summer solstice. Yeah, summer solstice, pardon me. I'm your host, Naeem Abul Hawa, in the house. We got our co host back here for No Nonsense, Oscar Montiel. Hey Oscar, what's going on this winter summer solstice, pardon?
Hey man, how are you doing? I'm doing fine.
Man, you know how it is in the 22182 zip code, man. It's always flowing, man. It's always rolling good. All right, we got an amazing guest star host. I don't know what the right word is, and a really
Guest
good friend of
speaker.
mine, my dearest first cousin here, Obey Abul Hawa. Obey, welcome to the
Uh,
party, man. How are you?
good, good. I'm fine. Thanks for having me tonight.
Oh, pleasure
How
is
are y'all doing?
ours. Pleasure is ours. So Obey, how are you? And tell us a little bit about yourself, other than the fact that I'm the best cousin in the world.
Well, there's that, and then, um, I've been from the metropolitan area, born and raised. Just really trying to discover, like what kind of let's see, kind of how we can really um help one another figure things out.
Yeah, so we got a DMV native out here, and us being all from the DMV, we all look out for each other. So, Oscar, you met Obey once back when we used to attend the Northern Virginia Community College, ain't that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, we all sort of have a crossroads, if you will. We all of us at one point or another went to Northern Virginia Community College. All of us, sort of, kind of are in the same boat. I think everyone's in the same boat. You know, uh, whether it was pre-pandemic, pre-quarantine, or whether it's now during the quarantine and everything, we there are times that hit us around, where we just are not motivated to move forward. We don't have that jolt of inspiration. We know we have a purpose. We don't know what our purpose is. And it's just like we don't have that fuel. We don't have that gas in our gas tank, if you will, you know? And it's hard. And I think uh, I
Let
was
me,
talking to Obey at a separate
yeah.
time, and I was talking to Oscar at a separate time, and I was talking to myself at a separate time. Yes, I do talk to myself because I'm a little cuckoo in the brain. But and I realized really we all, and I think lots of people, this is why we're bringing it up, have this struggle of, yo, man, what am I doing? And what do I want to be doing? Like
Yeah, it's
figuring
it's been
out.
it's been a while. Let me just sorry if I'm
Yeah,
cutting
yeah,
you off.
yeah. Jump right in, man. Jump right
Okay.
in.
So yeah, so like how you were saying, we did meet maybe like a while back, and we might have had some common ground as well. Just like how we were all like basically new colleagues or new students, just attending our normal like daily routines at Northern Virginia Community College. Um, so yeah, you mentioned Oscar. You mentioned something about how you were studying computer science, right? So
Yeah, so I started at Nova studying computer science
yes,
because that was something that I was interested in.
yeah, and me
But
as well, studying the same major.
yeah, but then I realized that the math was very heavy and I was not willing to go through that because
Okay,
not only are you supposed to do a lot of math,
I
but
see.
those coding classes do have a lot of math integrated into them. So I knew that it was going to be a struggle, and I wasn't willing to step into that struggle. So what I ended up doing was decided to switch over to
Right.
cybersecurity. That that worked out
Doesn't it definitely
okay.
incorporates lots of math, right?
No, that actually cybersecurity is more dealing with computer programs and stuff like that, and keeping the computer and the internet safe. So I was able to handle that, but um, it wasn't a problem at the beginning, but then with time, Nova wasn't willing to help me out with classes and stuff like that. So I just realized that if Nova isn't going to help me out, then maybe Nova isn't the route for me to go. And I ended up asking the Department for the Blind and Visually Impaired to help me find my way. And they told me, hey, look into Intellectual Point, because they will give you the certificates that you need in the cybersecurity world. Because here's the thing, cybersecurity, well, anything to deal with computers, coding, programming, you really don't need a degree. You really don't.
Always depending on what you're planning on pursuing with your major or study.
Yeah. Like I learned this like very early on when I was taking
Definitely.
one of my cybersecurity courses, was that you just need certificates, and a lot of employers don't look at your degree. You may have a bachelor in this, but all they care about is, do you have the right certificates and experience? That is something that I learned, that they'll take the degree, that's fine, but they look more towards, do you have the certificates and do you have the experience?
Yeah, I'm starting to kind of follow your drift on that, because recently, well, it was a while back actually, but sometimes you kind of lose track of time. So I was trying to do like computer science, and I've started feeling like I was struggling as well. Like usually math is one of my strengths, but just like recently I guess I've I don't know, been a little bit weaker in that area or department, and I'm looking into trying out some different majors, and I'm thinking of maybe leaning towards something like physical therapy, which is more like science, and maybe just switch and study, can hopefully help me out. Go ahead, Naim. Help me out a
Yeah,
little
no.
bit.
I love hearing your story, Obey, because you always have, you have this journey you're trying to pursue, and that you want that fulfillment. There's something you want to do, and you've always had that drive, but I could tell from what we were talking when we were talking, is you feel you've come to a point where like you are in the driver's seat, but you're not sure which road to turn on, if you will. You're
Just a little bit of confusion.
Yeah, you're driving down I-95, but you're not sure whether you're trying to go to Atlanta or Miami. And it's just kind of like you have the options, you have the choices. You don't want to just stay in a standstill, but you want to do something. And that's the thing. We all do self-reflection, right? And we're always looking to improve ourselves in the best possible way. But the problem is, when trying to improve ourselves, when trying to self-teach or self-improve, I don't know what the right word is, we get caught up. We get caught up in, hey, what could have I done better in the past, and what I didn't do in the past, and what I did do in the past. And then we forget to just look forward. I know we have to take the past as lessons for the future, but we have to just really push forward. So I know for me, it's like, I don't know if I was taking my life seriously enough. So, I finished high school. The road was all carved out for me, go get my blindness skills training, go to college, get a degree, get a 6-figure income job, and take off and eventually become the world's next billionaire, right? It seemed pretty straightforward, not really. And so I went to training, and I went to college, but I was fooling around, if you will, like kind of sort of taking classes, but just not really having that cayenne pepper up my rear, if you will. I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm going to do it, one credit at a time, one step at a time. And I'm grateful for where I am because there was never a time where I just stopped. But I just dabbled in so many things, but I haven't as of yet felt this extreme, wholesome sense of fulfillment. The sense of, man, I went ahead and I did something big. I shook this world up bigger, stronger than the 2004 earthquake that led to the tsunami in Indonesia. I hope everyone's doing well in Indonesia and other parts of the Indian Ocean region as a result of that tsunami. It was a pretty bad tsunami. But the point is, I was hoping to do something like seismic in my life, and maybe that will come. But I'm 22 right now, 22 years old, 1998, and I still haven't gotten to that point where I've done anything majorly seismic. I've dabbled with, medical supplies sales. I've dabbled with studying and getting into real estate. I've dabbled with stocks and investing. I've dabbled here and there. I've dabbled with other things I probably should not have dabbled with. I've tried it all basically.
Let's
I've
see if
tried
Oscar has
from
any comments on that.
yeah. Yeah. I'll drop your comments down below if you guys can guess what other things I dabbled in. Oscar's my well-loved secrets. He knows some of the wacky tacky I've dabbled in. But what I'm saying here, I know I'm just rambling, but what I'm saying here is my life is just a whole bunch of rambling, basically. I haven't followed through with anything major. There wasn't anything that gave me that real sense of drive, that passion, that extreme, hey, I'm doing this and I'm going to follow through with it, that commitment, that motivation. And that's the weird thing. I don't know. Is that more of us than not? Because I used to just think that I was weird and I was just, worthless and not trying to go anywhere and just living off my parents, the fat of the land type thing. But no, I'm finding out, having conversations with all you guys, great folks, and others. Please drop your stories down in the comments below. That I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. And it just, you see in the movies, you see in the inspiration stories that, these folks know what they wanted to do from the day they were born. A Star is Born type thing. That's a great movie, by the way. Someone born to be a singer, someone born to be a film producer, someone born to be an actor. And you hear all these deeply compassion-filled stories, and it's just, I like politics, for example. I like studying politics, and I'd like to be a political leader someday in the future. However, I like it. I'm not staying up all night doing everything to make that happen. I'm just, it will happen when it happens type of a guy. Same with real estate investing. I like it. I love stock investing. I love working with others on balancing their portfolios, all that stuff, getting the proper licensure, all that cool stuff. Yeah, I enjoy it, but it's not like I'm waking up in the morning and saying, clap, clap, chop, chop, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get up and make it happen. On the other hand, I'm not just like wasting away my life and having my face stuck in a bag of Doritos all day, although I'd love to. I'm doing something, but I feel like it's not moving fast enough and it's not making enough of a positive impact in my life. I'm just going through the motions. I'm going through school. I just wrapped up basically all the credits except 3 to get my associate's degree, 1 course to get my associate's degree. Then I'm going to go out there and smash the bachelor's, hopefully get a master's or a PhD. But then what?
I feel sorry for interrupting, excuse me. I'm feeling your drift, man. I'm feeling some a little like the same type of way, Sometimes I feel like I have the drive, but I'm just not putting my full effort or putting my foot all the way on the gas towards achieving those goals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel the same way. I'm sorry to cut you off as well.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. To get complete employment, I have to get 3 certificates. I achieved 1, and I'm looking to get my second one. But take a guess how long I've been procrastinating and forgetting on how to study for the second one. Just take a guess. Naeem, you know the answer, so I don't want you to respond.
I don't know that I really know the answer because of my memory. I probably forgot when you really started. But yes,
I
go
would
ahead.
say close around maybe.
I started a little. I started getting these certificates
Yeah,
last
repeat the
summer.
question, please. Yeah.
Okay, so there's three. I need to get 3 certificates. I already got the first one, and it took me 2 months, and I started last summer.
Okay.
So the second certificate, I've been procrastinating.
Which is not awful.
Yeah. But here I am trying to get my second certificate. So how long do you think I've been on this second certificate?
I would say close to around the same time, wouldn't it? Be like maybe 2 months to.
No.
Oh, a little.
Not even close.
I would say maybe get 6 months.
8 months.
8 months. Okay, I was not too far off.
Yeah, man. I've been holding off for 8 months, and
Man.
it's been spoken. The instructor is telling us, the first day of class, he's like, I recommend you get you study and get the certificate within the first few weeks of you finishing this course, because
Gotcha.
you're gonna forget about it, and it's not me just forgetting. It's just
Gotcha, bro.
it's a lot of information, and I finally got confirmation that I just need to go over certain things instead of a lot of information. So there's different methods of achieving your goal. Don't get me wrong, but the key is don't procrastinate. Don't sit on it too long. Find a method that works for you.
I've heard that many times.
Yeah. Find a method that works for you and stick to it.
Oh yeah, that's some good advice.
Because then you're gonna be like me, who self doubts.
Yeah, procrastination is usually the worst route of taking anything.
Yeah.
So let's. I'm thinking maybe we can talk a little bit about real estate because that came up a little bit.
Naeem,
what do you guys think about that? Or maybe...
Naeem, you're the expert on that, so I'll leave that conversation up to you guys.
So I mean, I don't know too much, but I've come across maybe like I've this pursuing maybe a licensure and becoming a real estate agent, and I've already had a chance to like go over and read the textbook that covers what you need to know towards achieving, the license. But I mean, that's like as far as that. That's as far as I've gone, which is it does seem like it's doable. I mean, I've read the book in like maybe under 5 hours, so it wasn't too much.
Yeah, but I mean, my mom was a real estate agent like 15. What are we in? We're in 2020.
2020.
Yeah,
2020, the crazy year.
Yeah. My mom was a real estate agent in 2005 to 2007, I believe.
So she was doing it right before the great market crash of 2008, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a really good time and a really bad time to be in real estate, right? That was one of those things
she had
where
health issues, so she had to dial it down. With work, because she also does.
So she didn't leave because
own...
of the market crash.
No, it was more of she had health issues and she had to deal with those, and then when she came back, she just decided to work for the cleaning company and help manage my dad's landscape.
Oh yeah. Well, working together with his business.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. Well, I mean, I have something. Well, I can kind of relate to that because my dad actually is currently a real estate agent, and he's been in that industry for at least I think the past 15 years, maybe a few years more. So he has a lot of experience with all that, maybe even 20 years, but or close to that. Yeah, so I mean, if I had like any interest in that, that'd be very well easy for me because I can easily just I can if I had any questions about it, I can always ask him about it or you know get his insight about the real estate world and
Yeah, and then the most important thing really, there are different training opportunities with different brokerages. You know, like you got Keller Williams, you got Long and Foster, you got a
oh yeah,
variety of different real estate brokerages
exactly.
or firms that will provide you your training, and they'll cover your training and provide you the resources for your training, and then you can go ahead and enter as an agent with them as a junior agent, you know, or a
Yeah, I've
freshman
heard
agent
about
or whatever the proper term is.
education routes
Exactly, you get the education.
Long and Foster.
And that's the thing, yeah. Long and Foster, Keller Williams, I believe, is the other one. So what I had done when I looked into everything, it's really so for all you listeners who aren't sure, you know, about real estate agenting and all that stuff. So the market and the industry in real estate is basically the act of buying or selling real estate. And what is real estate? It's land. It's the act of buying or selling real, tangible, investable assets. You know, the so when you buy or sell a home, you're ultimately buying or selling the land on which that home sits. You know, there are certain appurtenances. Appurtenance means a permanent structure, right? So there are certain appurtenances you may find on that land. I believe appurtenance is AP. I don't know if it's two P's or one P. APERTINANCES. Appurtenances or one appurtenance. And what that is, an appurtenance or appurtenances is
They're like
the
an
permanent
apprentice.
structures. Yeah, the permanent structures on the land. So, you know, you got the home, you got the fountain, you got the piping, you know, the if there's a pipeline that runs through the land, you know,
Foundation. Yeah.
exactly, the foundational aspects that can't be removed from the land, right? But ultimately what the action of real estate is buying or selling the land. So an agent, right, is basically the lowest level figure in the industry, if you will.
That
they're
is
the
true.
person they're the person who does the raw and dirty of buying and selling the land, working with the clients, working with the person who wants to sell, the person who wants to buy, so on and so forth.
They
And
do all the
and they work under a brokerage. And to become a broker, there are
ordinance.
other licenses. You get higher commission fees, higher percentages. And then, of course, you got the mortgage loan originator, the loan officer, who helps you originate the loan, you know, finance for the loan and all that stuff if you need a mortgage loan. I know Obey, your brother Muhammad works in that realm. We should get him on
Yeah.
one day to talk about that stuff. So that's mortgage loan
Okay.
origination. And then we got the appraisers, the people who appraise the land, determine the value of the property, the value of the land. And we
Oh
got
yeah,
the home
my brother.
inspectors who check the foundational quality of the land. So the person who checks, hey, whether there's a lead, asbestos in the walls, whether there's deficiencies in the flooring, whether are problems with the roof or the
Oh yeah,
roofing, you
they
know,
cover everything about
those are the home
uh,
inspectors. And then of course you got, you know,
dirty
you got
job.
yeah, and then you got contractors who are kind of different, but they're the ones who basically produce or build items onto the land, build the home. If you just buy the land by itself, bare, you know, bare land, then they'll build up the home and all that stuff. The real estate developers, all those folks. So real estate is a wide and vast and large industry. And all y'all in the comments below, if you guys are invested in real estate or if you guys participate in real estate or in the art of real estate one way or another, you know, let us know how in the comments below. Maybe we'll give you guys a shout out or an endorsement because, you know, these days are going to be interesting days for the real estate market with the pandemic and everything that's going on. We'll have to see, will the market go up? Will the market go down? Will the market experience a crash? Will the market be largely unaffected? Will the market be largely impacted positively, negatively, not at all? So there's a lot to be seen and there's a lot to see with the real estate market. So I definitely have a great deal of love for that kind of stuff, and I can talk about that all day and all night, really.
Oh yeah, same as I.
But yeah, no, real estate is one asset class. Real property, real, REAL, and then the other asset class is equities. Is another asset class, so stocks and that kind of stuff. Then you could invest in treasuries and bonds. Then you could invest in commodities and gold or silver, or you could invest in water even to a degree. So those are different forms of investing. In real estate, you could be a long-term investor in terms of you buy a property and you rent it out to tenants and you're a landlord. That's the kind of stuff I always encourage. I know best in that realm of things in investing, or like the buy and hold strategy. I even encourage that with stocks and equities. Gold and silver, those types of commodities are always stabilizers, stability factors. There are also people who are fixer-uppers. They buy
Investors,
a property,
yeah.
they fix it, they flip it, they sell it, they make money. And the thing with that, I'm not against that, but the thing with that is you take your lump sum and you run. When you invest in a property as a landlord, what you're ultimately doing is you're going ahead and you're basically saying, hey, I'm investing in this property for the long term. The value of the property is hopefully going to go up. If you're paying down the mortgage, the equity is going to go up, right? So you're investing in that regard. And you got your tenants who are paying for you. So you're getting cash flow, hopefully. If you did it right, you'll get cash flow if you get a good deal. So there's a lot that goes into that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
that's very
a whole
simply
another world, right?
Yeah, but see, real estate investors are the largest class, I emphasize this, the largest group of self-made millionaires. So remember that. If you want to be a self-made millionaire, the largest group of them are folks who dabbled in real estate investing seriously.
Always
not just dabbled like they dipped their finger, but they seriously did work on it. They found good deals. They went ahead and got a good mortgage or paid it in cash. And we could get into whether it's better to pay your real estate in cash or whether it's better to take out a mortgage and have the mortgage depreciate itself over the course of 30 years or so on. There are different people who have different opinions on that. The top moguls, you got like Grant Cardone, who has his one opinion, and Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey's got his opinion, so on and so forth. Shout out to a fellow YouTuber, Graham Stephan. He's got some good content on real estate. So does another gentleman named Matt Kevin. Meet Kevin. I was thinking of Matt Taibbi, who's a journalist. I
don't know if you heard of Brad Lee or something like that.
I will have to check him out. I do not know him, or I've not heard of him, but I do know Meet Kevin. Clear Value Tax is another YouTube channel, and I first found Graham Stephan. He was the first guy who came across my radar, maybe the YouTube algorithms. But
I'm familiar with Grant Cardone.
Grant Cardone, yeah. So he owns Cardone Capital.
Yeah.
He owns Cardone Capital, which I think they basically kind of treat their money as a pool, from my understanding, sort of a REIT, but not a REIT. And a REIT is a real estate investment trust. But Grant Cardone could probably tell you more about how Cardone Capital operates and what it's all about. I didn't really fully ever look into Cardone Capital. I've heard Grant Cardone say some things that I personally, in the world of finance, given my limited level of expertise, don't really agree with. But that's just my opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and everyone's entitled to their method. Like Oscar was saying earlier, everyone has their method. There are this is a brutal way of saying this, so I don't want to encourage animal cruelty in any way. But there are many ways to skin a cat, is the saying. Don't go skin cats, please. Please. But yeah, real estate investing. There are many ways to invest in real estate, and there are many ways to invest overall. But yeah, if you guys want to hear more, I'd be glad to talk more about it. So drop us some info in the comments down below. Obey, Oscar, do you guys have any further questions? I know, Obey, you're studying the basic book now to get the basic agent license, correct?
Yes. Correct.
And then you want to go up to broker eventually?
I mean, I would love for that to be a possibility.
What is your end goal?
Well,
let's start with that.
Start from the bottom.
Yeah, what is your end goal?
And trying to start off with just getting the license for the real estate.
All right. So
And then
what
hopefully,
I
yeah, like within
what
the go ahead.
no, finish up your thought, and then I'll tell you
Uh,
how.
I was gonna say like usually just kind of work from there, and as as a result of having like the 10 or 15 years in the industry, maybe one day owning like my own brokerage, something like that. Go ahead.
Okay. So to help you attain your goal, this is something I don't know if you in high school ever heard the phrase. Well, it's not a phrase, but the word smart broken up into different sections. And
I've
I'm
never
gonna
heard that acronym. No.
no, okay. So smart has different acronyms. So the S stands for specific. So what is your specific goal? You said you wanted to get your, something
Uh,
in the real estate business, right?
yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
So probably well, I do have a aunt, so somebody in the family that already has her own business, and she's brought up like multiple times, like on occasion, like she'll be saying, "Oh, I'm planning on retiring soon." You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
So I'm hopefully planning on maybe trying to get incorporated with her business, and hopefully like after working under her as like an assistant and learning that side of
Oh,
the
okay.
real estate world, and then eventually taking over her business one day, I hope.
Yeah. All right. So then the next letter is measurable, which is M. How are you gonna measure yourself, and how are you gonna measure your expectations, and how you live up to them? That's the next step.
Well, as I
Um.
stated, hopefully just starting off with getting my license.
Mhm.
And then, well, I've already kind of started with the studying the book. I've already gone over it, and then I want to try and go over it again. And just within the next maybe few months or so, maybe study a good like um take some time to learn well
So
learn yeah, the
so
requirements and
so
passing.
you led right into the next one, which is A, which stands for attainable. How is your goal attainable? How are you not gonna, you know,
Well, hopefully the longer as
say
I
one
study it.
thing, because here's the thing, people, and Naeem, you can vouch, don't say no, are big talkers,
Yeah.
but they don't realize what they're setting themselves up for, and then you try to
Mhm.
find a way to attain that goal, but you can't just because you set something big for yourself without
Yeah, yeah, big
realizing
talkers
how
usually.
to attain. So how are you gonna try to attain? Like I know you spoke about maybe working under your aunt. What other ways do you think you can attain this goal?
Well, I've also stated maybe going ahead and trying to work to get with like my father in the beginning stages, just kind of getting me more familiar with what I have to what I'm going up against, um, like these big real estates out there, and just kind of getting familiar with commercial or residential, and just the basics of the
All
you know.
right. Yeah. All right. The next letter is R, which stands for reasonable.
So,
What?
sorry to interrupt. I know we want to get into the R, but sorry to interrupt just because it's really my passion. Did you say you wanted to do residential real estate,
Well,
Obey,
yeah,
or commercial real estate?
always commercials like always the best, but yeah, I would like to learn both
Yeah, it's
sides
always good to have both.
of the
I always
market.
encourage starting out with
Not,
residential.
not, Naeem. Uh,
Yes,
before you bleed on, let's finish this.
the SMART goals. Yeah, then you're gonna have to SMART goals me, by the way.
I've been trying to smart goals you for years.
Yeah, we
But
saw how that turned out, but we'll definitely have to do that. All right, all right. So
yeah, yeah. R
R.
is reasonable. How are you gonna make your goal reasonable? Like time wise and
Well,
actual
let me
wise.
give let me
How are you gonna make that a reality?
I just wanted to kind of ingest that question. Well, well, yeah. I mean, I just like in a sense, I don't know if this makes sense, but well, I just feel like for some reason like it wouldn't like maybe just being around, obviously being a son of a real estate, you just kind of have like, maybe some, I don't know how to put it. Like how would you like kind of familiarity about like the industry. Just yeah, always learning. Sometimes my dad giving me some intel about what's going, like, whether it's going up or down, or
All right, and the last letter is time, which stands for time. T. What would be, when do you expect to achieve? Give yourself a time limit so that way again you can measure up to your expectations. You use the letters that we spoke about to help you figure out time.
Whew. Let's see here. Well, time is like you're saying, like and how long I expect.
Yeah.
And like to achieve what, like my end goal.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully within the next few months to, and then eventually try to, grasp everything, and like with experience within the next few years, hopefully.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe 1 or 2 years, yeah.
Yeah. All right, there you go. Keep that in mind, and hopefully, if our podcast is still up and running, well, we're gonna revisit this conversation. Naeem, do you wanna take it from here?
Are we wrapping up?
So here's the thing with me. I'm gonna be very honest. This is gonna sound arrogant and pompous, but I don't intend it to sound that way. I try to be as humble as possible. I do try my best. I fail miserably sometimes. I do fail miserably, but I try to be humble. I have a deep love for everything. And it's a catch-22. It's a double-edged sword. I'm willing to try anything. I'm so open-minded, but at the same time, that's what ends up happening. I could SMART goals myself right now for the hospitality industry, being a chef or a restaurateur or a hotel owner, right? I could SMART goals myself right now in real estate. I've already sort of SMART goals myself, as you know. I've taken some necessary steps in real estate. I could SMART goals myself in stock investing and being a certified financial planner or financial advisor. That requires a little bit more study, up to a master's degree. In some cases, I could SMART goals myself for international relations, politics, and a concentration in Middle Eastern affairs, Middle Eastern studies, so on like that. I could SMART goals myself in, interestingly enough, psychology and understanding the human condition and the human brain, and maybe becoming a practicing therapist, a psychotherapist, maybe like a talk therapist or something. I wouldn't get into medicine because I have certain opinions about psychiatric medications, and I feel like we're treating situations like anxiety and depression too much as a chemical imbalance, more so than addressing the emotional component of certain issues like anxiety and depression. And I don't discount that in some cases there are chemical imbalances. I don't discount that, but what I do wonder is how can we focus more energy on healthy and natural means of therapy. One thing I've never really understood, I know it's a little off topic, is ASMR. So if anyone could drop comments in the comments below, the logic, the thinking behind ASMR and how it's relaxing, please let us know. I do enjoy meditation, I will say. But anyway, so that's another field I'm interested in. I'm interested in philosophy and being a philosopher. That's just pondering human issues, right? I find that really fun. I don't know how I could turn that into a profitable career other than being a philosophy professor at Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Stanford, or Brown, or the University of Chicago. That's the only way I could really see philosophy being a profitable.
I could see you following in that, those steps of becoming a philosopher.
But I think the underlying goal for me is self-satisfaction, fulfillment, and a feeling of having given to the world because the world's given to me. There's a lot of that. I could SMART goals myself about getting into vocational rehabilitation for blindness and blindness skills training and vocational blindness training. We will have a guest on our podcast in the future who can talk more about that stuff. But I've SMART goals myself for that as well, and have taken a couple steps. Not as many as I have for real estate. I took more steps for real estate, I must say. But the point of the matter is, I'm ready to take these steps for so many different fields. I just have to stop, and narrow things down and focus on a goal very slowly, very meticulously, and very carefully. So I think that's where I get all tripped up. But I think one of the underlying goals, like I was saying, with self-satisfaction, but another secret a secret motivator for all of us is fortune, wealth, and success, prosperity, right? Prosperity with a capital P.
Yes, I definitely feel like that might be like one of the main, drives. More so. I mean, I'm sure anybody can agree with that statement.
Yeah.
All of us seek capital and success.
Yeah, that's a long-term goal.
Anyways, I mean, do you guys have anything else to discuss? Because I already.
Let me see. Let's see if I have anything else I can throw in there. Whew.
Well, your mind speaks volumes. Well,
Sorry, I missed that. You were cutting out. Could you repeat that?
Yeah. Anything else to add?
Oh yes, of course. So I do want to go through SMART goals. I don't know if it would be productive to go through SMART goals for every single field, right?
Naeem,
For me
I
right
just
now.
think that, hey, Naeem,
Yes?
I know where you're going with this,
Mhm.
but I think that would be maybe a podcast or maybe our little clips.
Okay, so
but-
look out for bonus segments or a podcast where Oscar's gonna SMART goals me on
yeah,
many
that's
different
another
things.
thing.
Yeah.
I do want to let you guys know is that yes, we have. I was kind of hoping, and you know what, this could be the end of this very podcast because I know it's kind of late at night and I kind of have to stay at watch with my family. They're right now out of the house and
No, I think that is reasonable.
So do we want to make closing remarks before we run off?
Yeah. I was about to stop interrupting, man. Like, what
I
is
know
wrong?
I'm racing like 10,000 miles per minute, right?
Yeah. Anyways, so
Mhm.
Obey, where can people find you on social
Yeah, drop
media
us your
or-
info. Your
Yeah.
Facebook handle, your Twitter handle. Drop us all your info, man.
Let's see. I mean, I think the easiest way. I'm actually like. It's weird. I have social media accounts, like several. But I just don't use social media like.
That's fine. Naeem,
Maybe if you want to reach me, I mean, I could like just put in my drop in my email. That is.
just
Yeah.
just for safety precautions of
Okay.
um
Probably with
just send me your email and I could post it.
Go ahead. Yeah, that's definitely an option. Let's see.
Naeem, are you still there? Uh-oh, you lost Naeem. But anyways,
Oh man.
yeah, Naeem, he still hasn't posted any social media as of yet. But you guys can always find me at Oscar J Montiel 37. On Twitter, Facebook, my name is Oscar Josue Montiel, And of course, YouTube. My YouTube channel is Oscar Josue Montiel as well. This was the No Nonsense Podcast. We will see you soon. And thank you for tuning in. All right, guys. Have a good evening.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem, man.
All right. Have a good one. So we're just going to end from there.
Yeah, actually, Naeem just called back. Let me
Accept him.
give me a sec.
No problem.
Yeah.
Maybe he got booted out somehow.
Yeah.